Hi there. How do you eulogize someone who is very dear to you and for many years he knows you? In this case, she knows me. For many years too, you respect each other, and now at good age, she passed away. This is the story of my acquaintance with Professor Galun, who passed away today at a good age of 97 at home with a family. She was very focused, very sharp to the last minute. And I feel fortunate to know her and to work with her for about 22 years. In those 22 years, we kept in touch every week, even after I was no longer a student of her. So instead of saying how great she was, maybe I will leave a link about her CV, which has to do a lot with Africa, with Europe, with Israel, with many things. Asia. I will tell a little story about how I met her. And that happened when I didn't finish. I was in my PhD. And the professor that was leading me, I didn't like him. We didn't get along too well. It was already after a few years. I took my time. I think that was something like 8 years after I began my PhD. So it was quite long, as you understand. And I was looking for someone else. And then I asked a relative, a professor in Weizmann Institute, if he's got any idea for me. And he said, well, Professor Galun. She's the mother of my wife. She just retired, but maybe she will agree. And she's a great entomologist. Now, I didn't know her before. And I didn't have too many choices. So I said, okay, I will give it a try. I didn't like it very much because she retired, she was a relative somehow, and I didn't want anyone to give me any easy life. I wanted to get my PhD because of good science and good work, not any other reason. Anyhow, I went and I met her. And this meeting she was testing me, I was testing her, and she asked me all kinds of questions about what I'm doing, what I intend to do. So I told her about what I did. And when I finished, she said, but it is impossible. So I got to understand that she didn't get something. And I told her, Professor Rachel, I'm not talking about what I intend to do. I already talking about what I did. So she looked at me, she was smiling. She got to understand that this is already done. What she just said a minute ago, that it is megalomaniac and it is impossible. And maybe this is how I passed her test, because after that we kept on working, and it took another 2-3 years before I completed my PhD, very much thanks to her. She knew how to direct me in the last steps. And even after I completed my PhD and I got it, we kept in touch every week in 22 years. And from the first moment I knew that everybody around me, the perspective of Professor Galun is of a tough woman, strong one. I could see that many people are afraid from her. And when she sat in a symposium, in a seminar, you could see the speaker afraid and all the time looking one eye at Professor Galun if he's not saying something stupid, what she thinks about this. And from some reason, I never had this feeling. I always felt like she's so soft, so sweet, so gentle, so deep understanding, so sharp. She could see so many steps ahead of everybody else. It was a pleasure. Now that she passed away, I was trying to think, since she is a very strong, tough woman with very strong ideas and attitude to things, and so am I. And I was thinking, trying to think, did we ever have any argument that we didn't agree on something? I couldn't think of one thing that we had an argument, that we were fighting, that I disagree with her, or she disagree with me, or something like this. It was never. If not for the 40 years of differences in our ages, it was a love story. That's the way I feel about this. And I know that she is one of those huge trees that just fell down. But unlike other huge trees that underneath they have a desert, this huge tree underneath it has many weeds, bushes, other big trees that it managed to grow while it was there, and watching those trees, very happy to see them growing, helping them to grow. All in all, I feel extremely fortunate to know Professor Rachel Galun, to know her family, and I hope that some of what I got from her I'm able to pass to others. I know that she cared very much about malaria, about tsetse, about fruit flies, about children. She wrote a lot to children. Science stories. And I feel like I've lost a good friend. Yet it's hard to be sad because I feel lucky knowing her. And that is filling up my heart and soul with a lot that I absorbed and hope to pass to others. Even a little bit would be a lot. God bless your soul, Professor Rachel Galun.